How can I overcome resistance to change? Hi, I'm Kevin Eikenberry, and I'm here to help you reach your potential as a leader and a human being. Welcome to Remarkable TV and the Remarkable Leadership Podcast. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any other episodes. Are you ready? Let's get started. People ask me this all the time, Kevin, how can I overcome resistance to change? And the reason that they do that is that they think resistance is a negative thing. But let me ask you this question. Would you rather face resistance or apathy? Now, while you're thinking about your answer, I've asked hundreds of people that question, and nearly all say, well, I'd rather have resistance than apathy. After all, there's not much you can do with whatever. Here's the thing about resistance. It's energy. Resistance is energy. When people roll their eyes, say, I think this is a bad idea, or whatever they do that leads you to think they're resisting, it takes some energy for them to do that. In other words, they care. That's not such a bad thing. And it's a pretty good thing, actually. And the second thing is resistance is naturally occurring. Even for changes that you think of yourself, that you are excited about, there's a moment where you go, well, what about? Like there's always resistance. It may last a long time, which might be the reason you're asking the question, but fundamentally the two truths are resistance is energy and it's naturally occurring, so don't be surprised by it. And let's just get excited about the fact that people care enough to say something. All right, so now that we have a new mindset about resistance, let's talk about what you can do when you're facing it. When the person or group in front of you is resisting the change that you're suggesting or that you're needing to lead. The first thing you need to do is acknowledge it. You see, if you don't acknowledge it, what too many leaders do is they don't want to hear about the resistance, or they're afraid if they bring it up, they're not going to know what to do. They're not going to have an answer to people's resistance challenges. So they try to avoid it. And that's just like shaking up a can of soda. The more you shake it up, when it finally gets opened, it explodes. We don't want to do that. But when we put off or ignore or deny the resistance, it's like shaking that can until it explodes. So the first thing we want to do is to acknowledge the resistance. Just acknowledge it. You don't have to agree with it. Hear what people are saying and say, I hear what you're saying. Ask some questions to understand it if you need to, but just acknowledge it. Sometimes people just want to be heard. And simply by hearing them and acknowledging it, it sort of releases that pressure. Like opening the can when it hasn't been shook, not that big of a deal. And the second thing is, you don't have to agree with it, but you can value it. You can value the person and that resistance, even if you think it's misguided or they don't have all of the information yet, that's okay. Do not immediately try to change their mind. Because when they're resisting and pushing, you don't want to push back. You want to acknowledge and value their resistance, and then you can use it. So in order to overcome resistance, we have to start by recognizing it's not a bad thing, that there are some things we can do to get to the place where we can have a useful, valuable conversation about it. So don't be surprised by resistance and don't get defensive about it either. It's not really about you. So don't try to make it as such. Use resistance to create better understanding of the situation. Improve the change. They might have ideas to make it better, and then you can move forward together. Let me close with today's remarkable reminder. When people resist a change, it means they care. Learn to see resistance as an opportunity, not an obstacle. If you found this valuable, most importantly, if you're thinking, man, people in our organization, our leaders need to understand this concept better, Kevin, well, then guess what? We have a product called Curated Learning Resources, where we've put together a whole bunch of video and other job aids, including this video, that are available to you to help the leaders in your organization lead change more effectively. Not a workshop, not even e-learning, but pieces of learning nuggets that you can apply across your organization to get better results and lead change more effectively. You can learn more by clicking the link here. And I hope you'll see you next week on another episode of Remarkable TV and the Remarkable Leadership Podcast.